Hello and welcome to the Penno Channel for this match review of Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 1 in the Premier League. I'm joined with my bro to go through this one as always. But before we start, if you could please get those likes in, get the likes up, and also subscribe if you're new around here. And also drop your thoughts in the comments and also at the end of the video as well. Bro, another victory, another win, a massive win, beating third in the league. How are you feeling after yesterday? You're on mute.
I had about 3 or 4 heart attacks in the second half, bro. But apart from that, I'm feeling good, man. Like, see, I'm still on edge, man, muting my mic and that, still thinking about this. But yeah, man, how good does that feel now? What, 7 wins in a row? Or 8 wins, I think. So, yeah, gassed.
Yeah, big performance and big win. And as you said, we had to grind it out. That second half, we really had to grind it out. It was on a real knife edge, but getting the victory is all that mattered. And I think at this point in the season now, it's not performances, it's picking up the wins. Winning is the most important thing right now. Performances can be whatever. Just get the wins in. Big up Charlie, who's joined. Thanks for joining, Charlie. He says, yes, boys. Yes, Charlie, hope you're good. Bro. Comes, late kick-off yesterday. And we saw what happened earlier. Some results went in our favour. Obviously, Bournemouth drawing with West Ham was a good result for us. Also, Palace managing to beat Brighton in the end, even though that game was on madness. 3 red cards in that one. So those results went in our favour. So it's a big opportunity then to push ourselves away from that group that are just outside the top 7, top 8, the Fulhams, Bournemouths, Brightons as well. And you're going into it and you see 8 changes to the starting lineup from the Brighton game. How are you feeling after that?
What's mad is 8 changes and the team still looks strong. The team still looks strong. Like, I was still happy to see that side, bro. Like, I thought, okay, we're going to see Maatsen and Garcia. Was that maybe the first time, do you reckon, we've seen them a game?
Potentially, yeah.
It was like, yeah, okay, we're going to have pace going forward on the wings. Mings and Disasi is fine. Like, Disasi's been class, like, when he's played this season, so I weren't worried about that. Tillemans and Onana, that's still a sick midfield to have. And then Malen coming off that goal against Brighton, something to prove, playing on the right-hand side. And then, yeah, we still had Rogers in what I think is his best position on the left. And then, Asensio in the 10. And then Watkins up top, bro. Watkins one was interesting because we said Rashford, without spacing behind, probably he's not going to start up front. But I thought he might start on the left-hand side, but he didn't in the end. He was rested. So, yeah, we got to see Watkins start up front. And, yeah, I was confident still with the team. So Forest team, I was just like, okay, these men are going for like a false 9, Spain Euro 2012, like no striker type settings. So I was just like, what's Nuno trying? Like, no one you on the bench. Like, me and you spoke about in the preview how much like Awoni's like terrored us in the past. So if that was injury related, I'm not sure yet. I haven't checked, but I was confident seeing that as well.
I knew Nuno would revert back to his ways, man. I just knew he would. I knew he'd go to a free with those injuries as well, and I knew he'd go to a free. I was surprised, as you said, as Awani not starting, but Morata came straight in. Dominguez kind of occupied as a right wing back in that first half, and Nico Williams played as the left wing back, and then that three of Mirilla, Milenkovic, and Morata, the triple M. And then they played with like Morgan Gibbs White as a false 9 as such, with Hudson Odoi and Elanga either side of him. But yeah, I knew he'd revert back because obviously with the players I had available, and he's played against us and set up against us many a time playing for it in the back with Wolves. So he knows that he has strengths within that, and he can fall back on that system if they do have players missing. Yeah, bro, as I said, it was nice to see Marlon start for sure. Definitely nice to see that Watkins come back into the side as well. And as we said, yeah, we thought Watkins would start just because of he offers a bit more presence. Rashford isn't that type of striker. He's more transitional than Watkins is, and he can hold the ball up and bring people into play. We'll get into that because I thought second half we tried to play to that, and that was killing us, if anything. And we'll get on to how and why that was. But yeah, as you said, Disasi and Mings starting at the back, strong defensive partnership. Even though they weren't playing up against a Chris Wood or Elwanyi, which they would have expected to with the 1 year for sure, and that would have played to our strength, having aerial prowess in defensive situations. Also, Amadou and Nana good in the air. So yeah, good side, even though those 8 changes were made. And I was going to get into a few of the comments here. Thanks for joining, Duncan. Duncan says, hi all, thanks for joining. Rachel's joined as well. She says, afternoon, villains. Afternoon, Rachel. Thanks for joining. Duncan says, the strong squad is showing now. That 11 as strong as any. Yeah, for sure, it really is. And that's just the position we're in now. Mr. Green's joined. Thanks for joining. Goes, YP. Thanks for joining, mate. Door on tour. Big up. Forest fan. I went to the game and Villa battered us first 20, but we didn't take our chances. A fair play. Villa win. Hope you lot win Champions League. Big up yourself, Door on tour, and go and subscribe to his channel as well. And yeah, facts. I think we'll get into the first 20 and how we played, but second half, Forest really stuck it on us and showed why they are in the position they're in. Rachel said the 11 that started would be some team first 11. We've done really well, but we still need to manage it. Yeah, for sure we do. And with the amount of games we have coming up as well, that's why Unai went for that. Steve John, big up Steve. He says, yes, boys, brilliant weekend. Great weather, 3 points. No TJ to spoil my Sunday life is good. Only kidding. He was meant to be coming on, but he hasn't made it today. God, what are you saying?
Yeah, what you said, yeah. So yeah, Steve, I don't know if you sent his phone like a fake message or something. Whatever, but yeah, he was meant to come on today, ironically, but he couldn't in the end. So.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, bro, let's go into it. The first half of the first half as such. Have we played better than that this season?
It's up there. We set up with Disasi and Mings at the back, Maatsen and Garcia bombing forward, Asensio like dropping in the pockets. That standard box midfield that we play with Tielemans and then Onana instead of Kamara, Rogers and Asensio forming the box. It was interesting as well to see Malen at times was tucking inside as well to allow Garcia to like bomb forward as well. Normally, like the right winger will like hug the touchline in Bailey and stay out wide. But Emery kind of switched it up a bit. Like Malen was staying out wide or he'd drop in and tuck in and link up to allow Garcia forward as well. And then, Maatsen getting forward as much as possible and Watkins as the central striker. So, yeah, I really loved how we played football. I was surprised how easy it was to progress the ball centrally. Like Forest, you'd think would be like compact through the middle and allow us to go wide. But a lot of the times, like we were baiting them into the press. They weren't really pressing in the first half. No. So then we were passing around the back. And as soon as Tielemans was receiving that ball centrally, or if it was like, say, Onana or Disasi, we were just able to just pass the ball straight through. I remember one time in the first half, Disasi waited for ages and Tielemans just ran around Gibbs White and he just thought, you know what, safe, I'll have that. I'll have the ball. And I was so surprised how easy it was at first. And I just loved how we were playing down that left-hand side. The link up with Maatsen, Rogers, who else was getting involved? Tielemans was getting involved as well. And yeah, I thought Garcia on the other side was a great option each time, like bombing forward, trying to get crosses in, linking up play as well. Just a very solid performance. And what I love about that performance is we had the 2 goals to show for it. Like, what's the point in playing really well if you like don't score and like take advantage of momentum? We did that to the fullest to go 2-0 up in 20 minutes. So super happy. Like everyone in the crowd was buzzing yesterday in that first half, and we were almost like, oh, could we just like fully kill this off here with a couple more chances?
Yeah, I think you make a great point, bro, about converting the chances from the momentum, because you say in the first 10 we had 2 really good chances within that. With the lovely play from Ian Maatsen, and him going forward in that first 20 was a huge factor. That shows what Ian Maatsen can do with the ball at his feet going forward from coming in from the left side, because he has that shot, that's a lovely bit of play from Morgan Rogers where he does a little back heel into his path. That's a good opportunity where Sales makes a good save. And then also you had that unbelievable cross from Andres Garcia into Asensio, who gets a toe onto it and just puts it wide as well. Those were 2 big opportunities in the first 10 minutes. And as you said, when we have that momentum, then if we're going to have more chances, you want to start taking them at that point. which we did. And let's get on to the first goal, bro, because I think, you know, it kind of, everything that you just said then, it kind of puts it into perspective with that goal. Forest not really being on the press as such, kind of dropping off us. Yuri Tillemans picking up the ball in any area and then looking up and looking to play forward. And then also as well, I think they're set up that kind of, because they were playing sometimes with a 5 at times and really dropping back. When teams do that and they play with the 3 centre backs, they can sometimes not realise what areas they're meant to be picking up. And I think that kind of happened with the free kick. When you notice when Onana gets the ball and plays it to Tillemans, Morato's kind of half sleeping. He's pulling up his socks. He's like half down. And when you give Tillemans that time, and I think Rogers said it in his interview after the game, like, I know to make the run because I know Yuri can pick me out. And he's kind of ran off the back of Morato because he's not concentrating. Obviously, it's a free kick in our own half. He's not looking up at the ball. And we've taken full advantage. The touch is exquisite to play in his path. And then all you want him to do then is bury it. And he's done that on his weaker foot. Morgan Rogers, man, quality.
Does this Morata guy not know who was behind him? Like, how dare you like deal with your shin pads like in a place like that? Like, you got one of the sickest players in the Premier League this season, man. And people say like football's dying, football's dead, rare, tear, whatever. But that touch, bro, that touch was like even the nostalgia Premier League lovers would have loved that touch, because not only does he like control it perfectly, it sets it out in front of him.
Yeah,
just to run onto. And I don't think he touches the ball again until he strikes it. That's how good the touch is. And then through Sal's legs, he's a sick keeper. We spoke about Sal's before, but yeah, through his legs. And then obviously the celebration, man. And what we're saying, some people saying that he's taken it back, you know, like he's taking it back from Palmer this season. He's making more headlines. So yeah, it's good to see, man. And Rogers would have needed that goal before the Paris Saint-Germain game.
Yeah, it just builds confidence in a big player for us as well. But yeah, it was a great finish, great finish, and puts us 1-0 up. And as you said, we build on the momentum. We actually were clinical and take our next chance after that. So huge play. But yeah, the space Forest afforded us at that point was really the big factor within that. Like, Yuri had so much time to play that pass, and we know Yuri Tillemans for me has been our player of the season. Because of the consistency he's shown. And when you afford him that time and space, he's able and has the ability to pick out a pass like that. And as I said, I think with the positioning of Dominguez and Morato in that half space, neither of them knew who to pick up because, again, they're not used to playing that system. So he offered Morgan Rogers, just for making the run, he offered him the opportunity to get in that position. And then all you want for him to do then is show composure and finish the chance. And that's exactly what he did. From that few comments in here, Mr. Green says that Morata had a long day. He did indeed, especially first half. We were causing him all sorts of problems. Doran Tor said, "See you in the FA Cup final." Facts. I think there's a massive opportunity and a massive chance that does actually happen. Be a huge game. Two historic clubs playing in the cup final, looking to win silverware for sure. Charlie said, "So relieved someone is finally able to humble Forest, and particularly that shin kicker Yates." Yeah, Yates gets a bat. I do remember the game. The game at the City Ground where he was kicking shins as well. Duncan says Sal's is an underrated keeper for me. Sal's had an unbelievable season. I think he'll be team of the season goalkeeper for sure. HFD 1990, thanks for joining. He says Rogers is getting better and better. He is, and he's getting to that level now where, like, he's in some big conversations with young players across Europe now. I think he's in that category because it's his performances in big games, big moments, and obviously we have a few massive games coming up towards the end of this season as well. Again, if he can remain and keep that level of performance, he's in conversations with some of the best young players in Europe for sure, because he's playing on the biggest stage and he's providing the biggest moments at those stages as well. And we'll get on to how Rogers, his consistency through the rest of the game and the level he performed at. But yeah, bro, the conversations Morgan Rogers might start getting put into. What are you thinking?
Yeah, he's starting to get more recognition now. Like, I think a lot of fans know how good he is, like, as neutrals. but I feel like when he knows he's on TV at this 5:30 slot, he like turns it on, don't he? Like, you notice that as well. Arsenal at home, his best performance in a Villa shirt by far for me in his career. So that was a 5:30 kickoff as well. I think he thrives when he knows like people are gonna tune in and watch him perform. And yesterday he was cold. He was really, really good. I loved his footwork. I loved his passing. That touch for the goal, incredible. And he gets about, man. He does not mind a physical challenge. Like, did you see that one time in the first half where he was literally had to get spanned around like by the halfway line for them to get the ball off him?
Yeah.
That's what he's like. And I think Jamie Redknapp, he compares him to that rugby player, doesn't he? When he says like
John Alomu.
Like, John Alomu, like just the way his stature. Like for you to be 6'2", have that type of size on you, and to have like the nimble footwork and ability to just run up the pitch, it's like a one of one type thing. It's almost like he profiles like an NBA player almost kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like where you put all these like attributes together, and I don't know how he makes it work, but this is why he's so complete, and he's such a unique profile as well. So yeah, man, just happy to see him balling. And what I touch about that one chance that Maatsen had in the first half, where he plays it into Rogers. Rogers does the little back heel flick, and he gets into the box. Maatsen and shot. That was beautiful. That's what we like to see on the left-hand side.
Yeah, facts. So when we take the lead, bro, a few minutes later we make it 2. What are you thinking here? Cricket score time, or just happy we've taken our moments? Because again, it's lovely football, isn't it? That second goal is a really good goal, and Ian Maatsen for the times this season where he's shown lack of defensive awareness as such. I think in the last few games where he's played at left back now, he's shown his quality going forward. He really has done, and playing again with a wide player who likes to come inside to a different. Because I think Maatsen sometimes plays better when he has a left winger who loves to play wide like Rashford, because he can come inside and do his work that way. But Morgan Rogers is a player who likes to come inside, like similar to JJ. So to see him shining and going on the outside this time and coming inside as well and showing both attributes was fantastic to see. And he absolutely does up. I think it was it Yates caught on the right or on that side.
Is that shin kicker again, bro?
Absolutely does him up. Yeah, does him up. Does him up with that bit of trickery and movement and gets around him and puts in a quality ball for Malen with a tap in, and that's it. 2-2 now, Malen. You could say 2 in what, if you carry over the 2 games, 20 minutes of playing football for Villa. For him to score on his start as well, huge, and it was great. It was great movement from him. He gets behind Nico Williams. Nico Williams doesn't know where he is at all, and he puts it in. Shout out Watkins as well, because I don't know if he meant it, but him and Murillo were having a wrestling match in that box whilst that goal went in as well. They were kind of holding each other up and kind of distracted Murillo because he was out of position then and allowed Malen to get into the space. And so forth.
Touch on that comment from Charlie. That's what I want to get into it.
Yeah, Charlie says that's the difference between Maatsen and Digne for me. That final forward dynamism and direct crossing style, whereas Digne's a bit more traditional with his crossing. Yeah, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, bro. This is essentially what I've been saying all season with Maatsen and Digne, like the difference between them. Like Digne, he's a standing crosser. He'll delay. He's good when afforded time and space to like whipping across. But if you look when Digne receives the ball in space, oftentimes he will slow the game down. But if you look at Maatsen, when Maatsen receives the ball in space, his first action is intent to go forward and drive into the box. And this is what we've been missing, because there's so many times where we'll work it out to the left-hand side and it's slowed down and we'll maybe win a throw-in or we'll win a corner. But I always say, what's the opportunity cost of not getting that ball into the box quick enough? And I think we can never prove it, but I think there's been so many times this season where we've worked it to the left and we haven't been able to see that ball get into the box quick enough, drilled low and hard for us to get a big chance. And yesterday we saw it, man. Like Maatsen twisted Yates up. Yates was looking. He was like, where is he? Where is he, bro? He must have looked about 3 times. He didn't see Maatsen once. And what a ball this is, because he's got to beat about 2 Nottingham Forest players in the box for it to, and it's got to be far away enough from South to not come and claim it. And what did we say about Malen in January? Like, he can be frustrating with his decision making sometimes, but one thing he's elite at, he's getting chances. Like his XG numbers were like some of the best in the Bundesliga. So we always know he's going to get a chance in the box. First time finish. And yeah, these are the most consistent goals you can score, the most repeatable goals you can score. First time finishes in the box, open net. And yeah, 2-0. Loving life, bro. Loving life.
It's the type of goal. That's the type of goal top team score. That back post finish, like no one there. I've seen Liverpool and City score that goal so many times over the years. You know, that like ball across back post, and you just can't defend it. And it was good to see Malen get in that position, and the delivery matched it. The delivery was top quality from Maatsen. So yeah, going 2-0 up, you feel like it's cruise control. It's exactly what you wanted. It was reminiscent start to Newcastle. We all remember that game. We beat Newcastle 3-0 at home a few seasons ago. It was a big game for us because it was against a side who did eventually get top four, and we absolutely blitzed them. And it felt like we did the same in this game as well. Our team, who are third currently, and we were blitzing them in the first 20. But then it was, can we sustain it? That was the thing. And they started to play into the game, and shout out Forest, because we know they are such a dangerous side on transition. Anthony Elanga tried to do a carbon copy of his goal against Manchester United in midweek. Was very unfortunate to just put it wide. He's having a monster season, Elanga, and I can see why he's such a threat, because he's so direct with it. And we did well to kind of push him back. I think we kept too much space on him, gave him too much respect, but he came close to that chance. Then from our own passenger plane,
just to touch on that chance before you move on, I thought that was really poor from Villa. I thought that was really poor, because if you look at the transition, there was 5 Villa players back, or he was running, and he had no options. And Disasi backed off him way too much. Don't allow Elanga to get a shot off in the box, because he will more often than not punish you. So yeah, I wasn't happy with that passenger play at all, because if Disasi gets closer, there's 2 other Villa players that can like block, cover any other potential Forest player running in, but he had no one. Like Disasi should have shown him out wider. And yeah, I weren't happy with that, because no way should Elanga be getting a shot off in that situation.
I agree. Do you reckon? I was going to say, do you reckon Disasi was sometimes in those scenarios? It seems like at that position it was 1v1. Do you reckon he was scared to engage because he thinks Elanga can knock it past me, and I could miss time my challenge at those points? Because it's interesting to think of like the mindset of the defender in those positions, because obviously Elanga's rapid. He showed the English, he's rapid, and if you make the wrong decision there and come tight, you can quite easily bring a player down at that point.
I didn't even want him to engage in the sense of making a tackle. He doesn't have to make a tackle. Like, I don't like players making tackles in the box, but like, show him wider, get closer to him. He backed off, bro. He's backing off the whole time when he's running. He can see that there's other players from Villa running behind as well, like there. I just don't see how you let Elanga get a shot off there on his own. I thought that was poor, but that was probably their biggest chances. They had some chances before where
I think
made a shot wide before that, but they didn't have anything really like of like that much note really, apart from that Elanga chance.
No, I think the Cho chance was, again, that was a big chance, because we played, that was from our play, our build up. Rogers makes the wrong decision with the pass. He should have passed it to his right in the middle of the pitch, and they recovered the ball. I think Yates puts his leg out and recovered the ball, and Hudson-Odoi just puts it just wide as well. They turned on us then, yeah. So that was another decent opportunity they had as well, and that came from our own poor play in the build-up. Because I think we made the space really well in, as you said, bro, in the centre of the pitch. There was a lot of times where we were playing well in our box, and that opportunity we had there, if Rogers just looked up a bit more to his right, Tielemans was in acres of space, and then we had another massive opportunity transition, plays the wrong pass, and sometimes when that happens, then you leave yourself wide open, because we know how we like to play. We saw Martin in the second half, just holding onto the ball, waiting for them to come on to us, and he did it first half as well. And if you make the wrong decision, it leaves you wide open in those positions. And we were lucky that Cho put that one just wide as well.
What I was noticing was, because the build-up was so easy in the first half, where they were rarely pressing. They'd have one player that would go to Martinez, but Martinez had options either side. Then they'd have 2 players behind. I think it was like Gibbs White and maybe Elanga. And we were finding that out ball every single time, whether it was Garcia, whether it was Maatsen, whether it was Onana passing to Tielemans centrally. So I feel like complacency crept in, because it was actually genuinely so easy, the build-up, where it was almost we were the ones messing up ourselves without any pressure. So I can't complain though overall that first half. Like, I thought the performance was so sick, like genuinely dominated.
Yeah, I thought Amadou Onana had a really good first half. I thought he was good on the ball. He won his jaws. He he keeps it simple as he does. I think sometimes he can be said for kind of hiding in moments to get on the ball. I think Boubacar Kamara, when he does play, and even if he makes a mistake, he'll still show for it at times, and Amadou Onana can sometimes hide. But I thought he had a really good first half within that as well, and we know the qualities of Yuri Tillemans and Morgan Rogers as well, bro. So I was really happy to go in at 2-0 at half time because I did think the momentum was starting to shift towards the end of that. Yeah, some comments here. Charlie said there's a moment where Disasi jumps inside 2 yards too, and opens that route down the line. Lost his spatial awareness. Yeah, I think he did. Especially the way Elanga was running at him as well. I think that was potentially the case. Mr. Green goes, Ollie Watkins, it's time to go, blood. Forgot he was playing. TJ was right. Yeah, we had TJ on and he made his comments around Watkins, and I think as a Villa fan, he hasn't had his best season at all with his performances. Obviously, he's only just coming back from injury again. Got some minutes against Brighton, and this was his first start since that break. What did you think of what Ollie's first half and minutes into the second half as well? Is it a concern?
Ghosted, didn't he? Really, bro.
Yeah. Is it a
I
concern?
think we're having just some network issues. I think I lost you for a second.
Oh, okay, you're back now.
Are we?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, I lost connection there for a sec. But I thought Watkins kind of ghosted in the first half, to be honest. He doesn't look fit to me. He does not look fit to me. Whenever he's attempting to win an aerial duel, he's squeamish, almost like jumping into it. It's almost like he doesn't want to fully jump and extend because he's like nervous about how he will land with that knee issue. So yeah, I don't know how to judge him because obviously he was poor in the game, but is it because of the knee issue or is it just a lack of confidence? Like, how do you weigh up what's the sole reason for these performances? Because I know Watkins has not been good this season compared to his levels, but even then, I don't think he's been as bad as he was yesterday. So I'm thinking, is there another reason that we're seeing that? But yeah, he was just losing his jewels. He wasn't really involved in our attacking play. Right now I would not be surprised if he's benched against PSG. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think Duncan's in agreement. Rashford, he says Rashford to start up front now for me. I think that there's a real chance of that happening against PSG. What I was going to say is going into that second half, we didn't really help Watkins as such because then we started to play that long ball to him. And against Milenkovic, he was absolutely dominating him every single time that ball was being played by Martinez. That tactic sometimes works for us. When Watkins can bully the centre-back, we've seen it. When we play that long ball, he's a fantastic outlet. But that wasn't the case in that second half. And I think there was about 3 or 4 times in that period before Jota Silva scores where we tried to play that ball and they just turned it over straight away. And we were back on the defensive. And Forest really came out that second half. So obviously, they changed it. We made a change to Andres Garcia going off. I was surprised at that. If it is an injury, then fair enough. But I was surprised because it changed our shape with Ezri Konsa coming on. Obviously, Disasi went to right back then. Forest made the change as well. So they kind of changed. They went back to a 4, didn't they? Elanga went off at half time and Jota Silva came on. And they kind of changed their shape within that as well. I think Nico Williams went to right back, didn't he? And that's where he was getting a lot of joy as well. So yeah, bro, second half, can't lie, that first 2025, Forest were on us, weren't it?
Yeah, Forest changed their tactics, bro. They went to a man-to-man press, they pressed more aggressively and higher. I think Nuno was just like, okay, we got to go for it now, 2-0 down. I can't just have the Villa keeping the ball for the second half. So they stuck it on us, I can't lie. And momentum is just a massive thing in football, and you can feel it in the stadium when a team's going into the game. And those first 15 minutes after half time, where Villa Park's kind of empty, people are getting their food, they're slowly getting back to their seats. There's never any atmosphere. And I think you spoke about it in the past, it just kind of kills the performance a little bit. Not that the players should need the fans to always be there to like put performance in, but I do think subconsciously it does have its effect. Like more lethargic when we start second halves, and yeah, Forest sensed it, man. Like Forest sensed it. They had a couple of chances early on where it just like went wide, but outside of the chances, it was more like the possession. Like they were winning the ball every time, and they were quickly getting up that pitch as well. Nico Williams, I thought, was a massive threat down that side. And then Gibbs White was finding those pockets centrally, turning, playing the first time pass, getting them up the pitch. So yeah, fair play to Forest because they've come to Villa Park without a recognised striker, and they've made us sweat. They've made us sweat, bro. Like 2-0 up, and bro, like I said, man, heart attack after heart attack. Must have aged about.
What
like
I'll say is,
10
bro,
years as well.
is I think last season when they played us, it was one of Nuno's first few games, I think, and they didn't have a recognised striker last season, and Morgan Gibbs White played off the shoulder. I remember it was Pau Torres and Lenglet played together, so we didn't have much pace. I think, yeah, because I think Lenglet had to play, one of them had to play right centre back in that game. And I remember they were playing off our shoulders a lot, and they didn't quite do that first half, but second half it totally changed, and that's what they were doing then. And yeah, I think Nuno would have said to him the same thing he said to him that day was, we can still get back in this game if we get a goal. And they almost got back into it. I think, what was it, 4-2 in the end last season? They made it 3-2. And yesterday, they really got back into the game. As you said, Nico Williams had some good chances. On another day, he scores. Hudson-Odoi had a good chance as well. Elliot Anderson had a great chance as well in that half. But yeah, they really did turn it on, and credit to Nuno because he changed the shape and he changed the intensity of the press, and they were causing us big problems, man.
Yeah, facts. What do you think then? Because Unai said in his presser, he said, I wanted to see how to deal with a man-to-man press. Right. I've got a theory that Unai knows that they could have continued to build out and get past them that way. Was he prepping us mid-game at 2-0 for Paris Saint-Germain? Because we know Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, who else plays up front for them? Barcola, maybe. Depends who they play. We know that their press is going to be scary. We know it. So I don't think we're going to attempt to build up as much as we normally do, like in that away game at Paris. Were we going long ball in that second half to prepare the players and just to give Unai some insight into how the game's going to go Wednesday and how we can win the second ball? Because yesterday we were not winning the second ball after that initial contact. But there's a heavy factor because Watkins is injured. Watkins can't jump, so it's just like, how do you actually measure if we're playing or not? If we're playing with like a handicap in the sense that one of our players isn't fully fit.
Yeah, the thing is as well is Watkins isn't going up against Milenkovic midweek, and like he's a monster at the back, isn't he? So if we were playing that way, he was inevitably going to win a lot of ball. I think, no Marquinhos available now. It will be Pacho.
Well, how big's Berardo? Pacho's a big dude, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but
they're big guys.
They are, but I don't think that Milenkovic in the aerial dominant. I can't lie. I think he's a monster, and it's hard to put it on him as such. So it may be a bit different. That's if Watkins does start and we do play that way. But I do think, yeah, he was showing the sign of how we are going to set up against PSG, and how do you cope then when they win the ball back, and how do you set up in your shape? Because yeah, Forest were creating a lot of opportunities. Morgan Gibbs White as well had one where he played off the shoulder and they put the ball across, and he nearly got a touch on it, and Martinez managed to claim the ball. They were causing us real problems, man. Real problems, and I think you got a point there. Potentially, he was saying, "Okay, look, let's not play at the back. Let's play long and see how we cope in that sense." Which is mad, but he might have been doing that setting up for Wednesday.
Because bro, like people will say, "Why does Martinez keep going long?" Listen, their instructions. Martinez is not going to be allowed to keep going long if Emery has said play build up. There's no chance. Emery would run on the pitch before he'd allow that to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like he'd actually tell him, like, "What are you doing? Like play build up." So it's obviously instructions from the coach. I think what Emery's frustration came from was the lack of winning the second ball once we did go long. I think that's where the frustration came from. It's like, come on, man, let's win the ball higher. Let's keep possession higher up the pitch. So yeah, I'm convinced that he was just testing that tactic. Yeah, and I think Forest going man to man will help us because it's so similar to PSG. Like if they continue to play the way they did, not much of a press, yeah, we would have probably been a lot more comfy, but we wouldn't have had that. Do you know what I mean? That experience of man-to-man pressing so close to the Champions League game.
Yeah. And it's a good experience for sure, and to get the 3 points out of it, because at times it felt like the equaliser was coming, didn't it? It did. Morgan Gibbs White and Morgan Rogers were going machine for machine, weren't they? That second half, I thought Gibbs White was playing, he was balling out. Then Morgan Rogers was as well. He had a great opportunity again where he's gone up for it with Morella. Morella's kind of misjudged the flight of the ball. He's managed to get in behind, and it's lovely footwork on Milenkovic. Maybe he could have got it across to Rashford, because obviously those subs were made, and those subs, I think everyone was calling for the subs to be made. Boubacar Kamara, Rashford. I think JJ come on as well at that time as well. Yeah, JJ came on as well.
I think JJ came on.
Yeah, he did. So those subs, we were calling out for those subs definitely, and brilliant bit of play from Morgan Rogers. Gets a shot off, tries to go through Sal's legs again, and this time Sal's actually gets on it, just about gets onto it. Might have passed it to Rashford, but I think he was in a bit of an awkward position. But yeah, those two were really going at it, and they were putting on a show, man. And England number 10s, there's just a plethora of 10s available, isn't there? And options as well, because they were both quality players. We also had a few more chances in that when Rashford came on. Asensio had that shot as well, which Sal saved. Rashford put one over with his right foot. But yeah, bro, I wasn't there yesterday, but how was it actually feeling in the ground those last 10-15 minutes?
I had to sit down on my chair at one point, bro. I was getting slaps on the back from people behind. It's like, come on, man. It's like, dig deep. Crazy, because you know what it is, yeah? You know what it is? Let me give some perspective for like people listening. We sit in the upper hole end. So obviously, if Nottingham Forest are shooting at the opposite end towards the north stand, when that ball goes across on the ground, we have no idea if it's going in or not. It's so hard to tell. It's only until it actually goes wide that you can breathe. Whereas if you're sitting behind the goal, you can kind of tell if it's going in or not. Yeah, the way Forest kept on shooting, bro, Nico Williams, other players as well, heart in mouth every time. Every time. But we were also dangerous like on the transitions as well. Like, is there a better feeling seeing Rogers like getting the ball in space on a transition, like going towards the whole end? Because you know something's about to happen.
Or Marcus Rashford. Like that feeling is on now. Yeah. And we're getting to that because Marcus Rashford had a big chance and he tried to dink it over the keeper again, and Sal's again, man, just gets his leg in the way and obviously flicks it up and then gets up and catches it. He's quality, Sal's. He's a top keeper. That was unfortunate, but yeah, Murillo, absolutely. And you called it as well. We did the preview game with Murillo, and you said he's got a strike on him as well. He can strike the ball, and boy, I think Martinez has it covered. When I look back at it in the slow-mo, his hands in that position, but he absolutely ripped one from 30 odd yards, and yeah, bro.
When I seen him lining up, I said,
Yeah.
Because I was just like, we know it. We know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And I think Martinez's face afterwards was as if to say, like, you know what, a fair play. Like, you know, the strike's good if Martinez is going to, like, you know, praise a Brazilian. So
yeah, facts. It absolutely ripped it. Just a few comments in here. HFD said Watkins played the wrong pass when we were 3-on-3 and then shouted on Disasi when he didn't pass. I think he's struggling. Yeah, I think he is.
I remember that, yeah.
That's a fair point.
Poor pass.
Charlie said all gearing up for R9 at part of the Prince, isn't it? I hope so, man. You know, more than you can believe. Rachel says Emery does.
Twice before, he scored a winner at Rashi, bro. 3 times, it's coming.
Facts. Rachel says Emery does practice ideas within games. Yeah, it did feel like that yesterday. It did. We changed the whole way we played. And then she says, but Emery wasn't happy with the second half at all. No, in his post-match, he was not happy. He said, yeah, that second half was shocking. Duncan says, thought Mings was in with a shout for man of the match. Yeah, what was your thoughts on Mings' performance, bro?
Yeah, pretty solid.
Yeah, he was solid. His box defending was good. Maybe their goal, I think him and Cons as well, they just lose Jota Silva. It's a bit weird because Jota Silva runs into his player and then the ball breaks to him. There was a few opportunities where the ball was coming across us sometimes when we weren't defending the space as well. Forest was finding themselves really free in our 18-yard box. But yeah, I did think Mings had a decent games. Kevin, thanks for joining. He goes, do we go with Torres on Mings on Wednesday? Whoa, that's a big.
I think it will be a tough decision for Emery, but I'm just thinking Torres is passing, like we know they're gonna press, and when we do play out from the back, that first pass inside to Tielemans, I think that's how we're gonna try and beat. Like we're gonna play that first pass inside to Tielemans, and Tielemans is gonna play that first time ball over the top, try and anticipate their press. Is Torres better at it than that? What do we lose from like box defending in terms of like set pieces, which we know Mings is a good aerial threat at winning the ball. Do you play both? Could you imagine if you were like Mings left back? Torres?
I would not be surprised if Unai does something mad. Like, that doesn't surprise me.
Nah, imagine
something he's never done before.
Bro, imagine if Unai went full on like mad, like he played Mings left back, Digne like left mid, like Torres left some nasty slow block ever.
Cash right mid, just absolutely insane.
Cash right wing, Disasi right back, Conza centre back, like full on just. Oh, I think no matter what the team she is on Wednesday, I'm not saying anything. I'm just watching. I'm just exactly. I ain't saying anything.
Charlie says, I think Torres plays for the extra calmness on the ball, but then the quality of pass if we're doing the long transition, like the Duran first Bayern goal. Facts, that ball from Torres, you can't forget that ball. Unbelievable pass. And I think, again, if we're going to be really transitional against PSG and sit in our shape, it doesn't hurt having another unbelievable passer, long distance passer on the pitch, because then with Marcus Rashford, and he needs one moment and he can change a game like we saw against Club Brugge as well and Brighton. Adam joined. Thanks for joining. Adam goes, yes, lads, how's it going? We're all good. Hope you're well. And Kevin says, Torres lacks pace is my concern, which is a concern. I don't know if we'll be. Well, I hope, and obviously, but I don't know if we'll be playing that high for that to be a factor as such. I do really think we'll sit in our shape. I do, and because of the type of players we're playing against, they're real threats in behind. But I know like Dembele and Kvaratskhelia can have the ball to feet and do it as well. They're just dangerous attackers. So it's going to be difficult from both sides, either going in over the top of us or them playing into feet. But just with Pal, it's just another player who can play that ball, and if we can catch him off guard on transition, you want Pal Torres playing that pass, and because of the accuracy as well. But yeah, do you reckon? Just a quick thought, do you reckon we'll bypass the midfield a lot against PSG? Like as you said, we saw Martinez do it. If Pal's playing as well, we'll really just look to. Maybe at times just not.
I think we're going to have to, because the way Paris Saint-Germain press, their front player is so effective. Like they have to do so much work, and their main job is blocking off the passing access to the other defender. So, for example, if Konsa has the ball, the player's job is to arch his run and kind of block off the passing lane to Torres, giving Konsa no option really but to pass forward. And then once the pass forward, then their midfielders start to press. So, I think it's going to be a case of we have to timing's got to be right. Tielemans, a lot of Tielemans' passes I'm predicting are going to be first time.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get room to turn and hold on to the ball like that too often. But I'm excited, man. I just like the profile that we've got now with Rashford and that. Like, if we didn't have Rashford, I think I'd be like, who's really going to be able to like run in behind consistently?
Stretch him, yeah. Facts, bro. Facts. Charlie also says, if Torres plays, it's a simple case of having to limit any opportunities PSG have to attack in 1v1. Possibly Kamara and Onana pivot with Tielemans high and McGinn right. Yeah, I could see that happening as well. I could see maybe Tielemans playing even higher, a Kamara and Onana. It's something we haven't done as well, really, or haven't seen. And then what, Rogers and Rashford? Maybe.
Yeah. That could be a shot. Left.
Yeah, that could be a shot.
He might like Ramsey. He might like Ramsey, you know.
Options, bro.
Options.
This is
yeah.
It's options. Adam said squad strength is so strong now in any game now, as long as it's close heading into the second half and confident subs can win us the game. Facts. That's a big Absolute facts for sure. I just want to credit Forest, man, because they've had us on the ropes at times second half, and to have no Wood in the 1 year, the squad's, they spent some money in that, but they're trying to get Champions League as well as being in the same position as we are in the FA Cup as well. So, and they really put it on us second half. Obviously, Ole Aina was a big miss. So it was two very, very good sides going at it yesterday. That's what it was, a great advert for Midlands football, because it was two very good sides going at it, and two sides in great form. And we got the better of this one. They got the better at their place. So yeah, we're going to say.
I saw a lot of neutrals said they enjoyed the game. A lot of neutrals.
It was a really good game.
Enjoyed.
And
just credit to Forest, because, like you said, they were either side as well. Like, those shots were coming in where they were linking up play. Hudson-Odoi was getting his shots off as well, and they really made us panic, man. It's a good test for us to come through that with 3 points. Like, it can't always just be comfortable, man. Sometimes we got to dig deep in it. So came through. I think what was the XG, like 2.52, 120. So you could argue that overall, chances wise, the win was deserved. It depends. Different sites say different things, but it was around about 2-3.
Yeah. Kevin says Asensio has to be in the team somewhere.
I'm not sure,
man. If he starts. I don't think he starts.
I think Asensio showing he's better off the bench, I think he's
obviously he's quality, but I don't know if he starts against PSG away. I'm not sure.
Unless you go Ramsey on the left, Rogers on the right, and then you go Rashford, Asensio.
Yeah. I just think Unai will be really on the defensive minded. I really do.
Well, bro, you listen to Rogers' after the game. It's just like, we know we have to suffer. Now, he ain't saying that just at the kindness of his own heart. Like, he's been told that.
Legit. They're going to have to suffer, yeah.
That's probably been the word of the day in the
you might see
sessions.
Yeah, and you might see Onana, Kamara, McGinn, Tielemans higher, if that is the case. I think we played our best football last season when we played with a lot of centre midfielders. City game, I think the only real outlets were Bailey and Watkins, weren't they, in that game? Everyone else was a centre mid playing in a different sort of position with Tielemans, McGinn, Kamara. Who else played that game? Was someone else? Well, yeah. Charlie said, we have to go for the durable midfield to keep us in the game early. Just can't afford to start Senjern, as we know he can easily impact games from the bench. Yeah, I think that will be the thinking. I do. But who knows? Unai, again, he made 8 changes yesterday. No one was expecting that, and we've come through and beat third in the league. So, fantastic result. And we will be having a preview tomorrow for the PSG game. This is the maddest game I think I've ever seen coming up on Wednesday. Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Man of the match?
Apprehensive but excited. Man of the match? Tough. I think
I'm going to
go with as well.
Go on.
I'm going to go with Rogers because he scored as well. I'm going to give Rogers, but there's a few players. There was a few.
I'll go Maatsen. Maatsen played really well.
Maatsen. Yeah, he did.
But I think Rogers, Tielemans, Maatsen, it's any of them three, I think. And it's like, you can't really argue it.
Yeah, facts. Anyway,
and guys,
that's it from
we appreciate you being. If you could get the likes up just before we go, like the stream as much as possible. If you're new here, subscribe as well. We really enjoy these conversations, having you in the pod, and it's the best time to be a Villa fan in my lifetime right now. Like, this period's crazy, man. Like, I'm not even trying to think about it too much. I'm just trying to be in the moment
enjoy
the games that come. So if you are new here, subscribe, and we'd appreciate it, man. Helps the channel.
Yeah, thanks all for joining, and we'll see you on the preview tomorrow. Up the Villa.